Hello, Final-pos team. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to showcase my backend development skills. And I'm hoping you guys are doing great. So I'll begin reviewing everything. So for the deliverables, there were like three main things. So database design, coding, like following the best practices with Git flow, and then test. It's like an optional thing, but nice to have. So of course I did that, and gate usage, and yeah. So I'll start explaining like how I did this thing. So first, let's open the branches. So this is like the main thing, and then from here, all the branches. So what I like to do is divide each and every important task or like features from all the deliverables and make separate branch for each and every one of those. So what I did was made these simple things. Like I decided I wanna follow this flow. So from the deliverables, now if we go ahead, there's like this little backend requirements and features which is already there implemented in the code. So when we come here, there was a Docker file requirement and Docker Compose. So I did that in the Docker setup, took the official Docker configuration from nestjs documentation and worked on that. After that, the Swagger setup, because there was also a part where it needs the API needs a Swagger documentation. So I want to I wanted to make sure like everything is documented as I'm writing those, and there might be like few little patches over the time, but yeah. And after doing the Swagger, what I did was database design, like one of the main thing. So I utilized the draw.io to create like this simple database design. So like one important thing I want to highlight is like users are like main thing, and everything else is like pretty standard for e-commerce part, where we have cart functionality, item, like there's the products and multiple items and then orders. So but yeah, this is just a rough I would say representation of like what was in my mind and what I have written in the code. So just easier for you to understand. And like there is one thing here, there is a user role and also email and password, because I also implemented auth module. So there is two roles, basically admin and user, because I wanted to make sure like there is a clear separation of responsibility for the products creation and everything. So that's my database design, and then I started working on the user module and the auth module, that both goes together. After that, after that, products. From products, cards, and from cards, orders. So that was like my flow, as you can see here in the branch. Code is there, and then finally the test. So for the test, I wrote like two end-to-end tests, because I felt like that covers a good skills in testing. So there were two main tests, like you can check out the code. So one is fulfilling the order, I mean like end-to-end order creation. So that's like creating user, then creating admin user, then creating a product, and then adding things into the cart, and then making the order. So that is like that's the whole flow over here. And then user authorization flow, authentication and authorization flow. So more like creating a user, logging in, getting the token, and then making it fetch an endpoint which requires authorization token. So that is here. Software test, there was like few little cleanup and bit weird part like, because I didn't notice, like I selected everything from here and pasted that in a Notion thing. So like the formatting was gone and I didn't realize like this module independence. was a part, like initially I thought this is a part of like creating orders. So based on the events, the order must be created, right? So initially I did that only for the orders, like this pops up architecture. So but then I was finishing everything today. Technically yesterday it is midnight, but yeah, and I was checking like the original document to make sure like everything is good, right? And I realized this is like a whole thing. Like, I mean, every module needs to be following this pops up for communication. So this is like a totally different thing from using dependency injection from nestjs regular like practices. So there's final thing I want to highlight is in the main branch you can see like my final commit is patch major refactor change to pops up. So there's like a big commit where uh, I did pretty like all of these things in a single like commit because I wanted this project to I don't want to spend too much time over here because this is more like a test, so I wanted to showcase everything. So for this final thing I did a big commit, but usually I don't do that, and it is working now. There is only one little thing. So because this whole architectural refactor, the tests are no longer working right now. So that's the only thing which I wasn't able to finish today before submitting this. But from all the deliverables, I've I have made like I made sure like that everything is covered. TV schema, code with nestjs framework, Swagger documentation, Docker file, Docker compose, nestjs test, and then git repo. And also like I'll show you real quick how easy it is to set up the project. So if we go to readme, so like there's 5 points, but realistically there's only 3 things you need to do. I mean, yeah, but before that you need Docker installed, and then it's as simple as like cloning the repo, copying the env examples to end, then running Docker compose. Now there is one little thing I made, like I wanted to make sure like you don't run into problems. So in the env examples, everything is here because I trust you guys. I know I wanted to make sure like you guys are not facing any problems while doing the review of this code. So it's just basically you can rename that or like even copy everything in the .n, so the project will work after that. And that's all from my side. And once again I want to thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to showcase all this.